Silent films were never truly silent. Since the beginning of motion pictures, there was always some form of musical accompaniment set to the actions of a silent screen. Oftentimes, a film's director would commission a known composer to write a musical score to accompany their film. In recent times, video producers have rediscovered these films and, recognizing their historical and artistic import, have sought to restore these films and set them to appropriate musical background. I wrote my first silent film score some 10 years ago. The movie was the great Soviet classic Potemkin. I had always liked what the film's director Sergei Eisenstein expressed of his work, saying that he hoped that somebody would revisit the film every 20 years or so to help keep the film relevant. Taking this challenge upon myself, I set out to give Potemkin an orchestral treatment. I thought that I'd come up with some good themes and all, but my arrangement skills were those of a beginner. A few years later, I watched a public domain copy of Fritz Lang's Metropolis, another classic. As with many silent films that I had viewed, I thought to myself just what kind of music would I include were I to score the film. I happened to have a CD of works of Samuel Barber, a favorite composer of mine. I imagined how a portion of his first symphony might sound when backdropped against the scene of Metropolis. When I first played the piece against a muted television screen, it was a magical experience for me. It seemed to me as if Barber had composed the latter half of his symphony specifically for the love scene in the catacombs underneath the futuristic city. Instantly I set out to get other music of Barber's and put it to the film using the studios of GRTV 25, Grand Rapids Public Access Station. It was the easiest, most flowing project I had ever completed. Each musical director has his or her own ideas on how best to score a film. One of my ideas is to switch often between concrete and abstract cognates to the screen's action. At a very important climax in the film, I might use soft, anticlimactic music that encourages the viewer to deeply reflect on what is or has taken place. Also, a character's emotion at pivotal times is particularly important, especially when the director gives the character a chance to immediately reflect afterwards on a climactic point having just occurred. Another idea is that I will sometimes focus on a very subtle instance in the film, the movement of an object, the single look of an eye, or even a creative intertitle, to focus a rise or fall in musical action. I prefer to use music that actively interacts with the film, as opposed to merely providing pleasant noise. Films do not carry merely the director's expression, but interacts with each single viewer, and vice versa, to form a unique aesthetic appreciation. So then, when I come up with music to accompany a film, it is important for me to express what the film does for me emotionally. This project of recording music for the scene you're about to watch took about 2 months of my spare time to complete. First, the music had to be transcribed note for note from a study score I had purchased several years ago and entered into a MIDI program. Once this was completed, I set about combining and layering instrumental sounds so I could change from a computer-synthesized sound to something more closely resembling a live orchestra. Once I achieved the best sound that I could, given both my limited equipment and technical training, I recorded and then finally synchronized the music with the picture. We will briefly join the picture near its middle. Among many other things, Metropolis is a classic story of haves and haves not. There are the few rich masters of this city whom reap all of the benefits of modern technology, and then there are the vast others whom slave and struggle to maintain the technology but are shut out from their rewards. In an effort to bring the plight of these forgotten workers to mind, Maria, a saint among the workers, interrupts a gathering of rich young adults to remind them of their malnourished and ill-clothed brethren. Frieder, son of a principal master of Metropolis, takes heart to her words and sets out on a mission to find her while giving up his life of privilege and joining the workers far beneath the surface of the city. Frieder finally finds Maria in a catacombs, a meeting place for workers whom receive inspiration from Maria to remain united and trust that their future will be better, but their patience is wearing thin. Unbeknown to everybody, Frieder's father, Joe Friederson, has partnered with the malignant scientist Rotwang, whom has invented a machine man, a robot that can be made to look and work as any human. Realizing this potential to replace the human workers, but knowing their united threat to him, the master of Metropolis concocts a plan to incite the workers to their own destruction, not realizing that his beloved son now ranks among the people whom are about to face annihilation. As a side note, at the conclusion of this scene you will see a title card indicating an intermission. This was not originally a part of Lang's version of the film, but was added to my original live orchestra version in 2006 for the benefit of the television audience. To the loyal members of my family, whom I dearly love, and upon whom my thoughts often rest, and to my dear friends, from the ones I see on a regular basis to those I rarely see, and to those that I have not had the privilege of meeting yet, I give you this sample of my artistic interests with much love and respect. And to the members of the YouTube audience, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Stephen D. Fenrich of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I am grateful that you are watching this project that I now have the honor of presenting to you. Andante Tranquillo and Finale from Samuel Barber's First Symphony in one movement, synchronized to Fritz Lang's 1927 motion picture Metropolis. I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching.